Hello, good morning. I had a problem with developing a product, a hook, a pop-up capture hook on inventory lines. I don't think the problem is actually that complex, but for some reason, it has turned out to be complicated. I don't know why. Anyway, since it has turned out to be a problem, I decided to just do it myself and record the session so that everybody or anyone interested can see exactly what I wanted and how I do this kind of thing in coreBOS. Let me be a little bit negative here, just a moment, and express my true doubts that this will be useful for anybody. I don't think anybody will watch the video, and even if somebody does, I don't know if it will be useful. Anyway, back on track. Let's see exactly what the problem is and how I'm going to try to solve this issue. Okay. The thing is here that we have coreBOS has a pop-up capture hook, whereas you open a pop-up. Let's go into the application. See, where is this? I know this one isn't it. This is not what I'm looking for. I want this one. Where are you? Here. This one. Don't need this one. Okay, inventory and sales orders. Okay, we have a pop-up capture hook, whereas I can open, for example, this pop-up here, select a product in this case because it's a product pop-up, and when I click on this, we can hook in to the event of actually capturing this element or selecting this element and do some other things that we have to do, like fill in some other fields or do anything that we need to. The limitation, this is in the documentation here on this on the documentation wiki. It's documented here, explains exactly how it works and what you have to do. I have some code here, and the problem is that this hook only works on standard capture fields, the Yui Type 10 capture fields. This here in the inventory lines is not a standard capture field. Okay, so it doesn't support this kind of syntax. Okay, that means that if I actually do a capture 10 field like this one, this is a capture 10 field. So I can hook into this by overriding the function. Okay, here it says in the documentation that I have to go to the module, must create the function in the receivings module JavaScript file with the name module name set value from capture. Okay, so I have to go to the module that's receiving the capture. In this case, that would be the sales order. Okay, I'm here on the sales order module, so I can open up here the terms and condition pop-up. But here I'm in the terms and condition module, actually, as you can see here. Okay, so everything that happens here is in the terms and conditions, right? What's in the pop-up. But what actually overrides the hook is that when I click here, it's going to look for a function here on the sales order to hook into that. Okay, so let's go over to the sales order module, and I should be able to see sales order JS. I probably already have, let's make this a little smaller. Where are you? Okay. I already have here a sales order set value from capture. That's because the application already uses the hook to do some magic exactly on the terms and condition field. Okay, so it says here, if the target field is terms and condition, then launch this Ajax call and get some information back. Mostly what it's going to do is fill in this field here. So if I eliminate all of this and I open this here and I capture this one, it fills it in for me. Okay, the process that's actually filling this in is this script here. Okay, so so the thing is that this works very well on UI type 10 fields, but it does not work on these special fields down here. Okay, so the first thing that what we want to do is actually hook. I want the goal of the task that was delegated was that when a product is selected, I have to go and get some information from another module and write it into some custom fields that are here in the map. Okay, I'm going to do something similar, just basically fill in, I mean, maybe the description field with something from the product or whatever, just to show how this would work. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is that, okay, this doesn't work. I mean, it's not supported. So the first thing that I would think would be, okay, let's standardize the functionality here too. Okay, let's add standard pop-up hook capture, pop-up capture hook functionality to this field. So it will be standard. It will work not only on UI type 10 fields, but also on the inventory fields. Okay, that would be really nice, because that way we could do that. We could put that in coreBOS and it would just work for everybody in the future. But even if we don't know how to do that, or don't want to waste or spend time doing that, which is the correct thing to do, you can just hook into the function and do whatever you need. I mean, this is open source and we have access to the code. So let's take this second approach first, and then we'll do it right. Okay, fine. Just override. Okay, we don't have the functionality of the pop-up hook. Okay, so sadly we can't do that. Let's inspect here. Let me make this a little smaller. I'm on the second screen here. Okay, and I clicked on the button, and it says that it is going. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Sorry. I click here, and what I'm looking for is this button. What happens when I click here on this link? Okay, it says here that it is going to close the window, and then it's going to launch set return inventory with a bunch of parameters. Okay, so we search the application for set return inventory like this. Function set return inventory, and open the parenthesis. That way I know that I'm looking just for that. And it turns up to be in products.js and in service.js, logically, because those are the two fields. Those are the two types of inventory captures that we can do here. Also found it in invoice.js, but even I don't know what that one does, but doesn't matter, because we're actually on sales orders. Okay, so here we have it, and it says that it does get opener quantity in stock. Okay, it fills in the quantity in stock and calls the set return inventory purchase order, which does some additional magic with filling in the products, the lines, the taxes, all the functionality that's on those lines. Okay, so that means that I can come here and I can do something like document get element by ID, and I can get the description field here, which is document ID. This is a text area, but anyway, I think it should work the same. If not, we'll look for something. Description. Okay, so the ID of that field is description, so I can put here description, and I can put value equals this is a test. Okay, so now what should happen is that when I select the product, it will do whatever it used to do, and here it will do document get element by. It will get the description field and fill in that field with this text. Okay, don't know if that will work actually because of the fact that this is a text area, but let's give it a try. Okay, the first thing I have to do now is that here, most probably, since we have the service workers in action, even though I do have them eliminated here, I have to make sure that the set return inventory actually has my code. As you can see here, it doesn't, because of the cache. Okay, so it's not here. So I open this and I reload the screen, the code, so that I can have my code here. Okay, now it's here. Okay, that was a Control Shift R thing here to make this working. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now I have the code. That's good. So let's open this up again, and I click here. Okay, and it didn't fill in, but that's probably because it's a text area and I have to do something else. Let's fill in this one, the bill country. And if not, we'll debug it, which is something that we can do because that's what this powerful system permits us to do. Let's see the sources again, just to make sure. Okay, it's not here. No, I didn't change it. Okay, here we change bill country. Yeah, okay, and let's go back over here. Let's reload this. Now instead of description, I should have bill country. Okay, and let's see if we can block this and click it. And let's see what happened. Okay, that didn't work either. Let's continue. Okay, here. Okay, this closed anyway. Let's inspect here and sources and inventory product PO, and let's block it here. So I click and it stops here. So actually I'm getting the code here. Let's execute this just to see what's going on. See what I did wrong here. Okay, that's not working. Because it's not working because I'm looking for the document here. I'm in the pop-up. Effectively, this document element by ID does not exist here. It's not in the. It's in the opener. So I have to I have to do this window.opener.document. Okay, that gets it. Okay, let's have this continue and let's fix our code over here, and we copy this here, save that, and repeat. Up and sources, and we reload this, get rid of that. Let's reload here. Now I have window opener document element by ID, and we should be able to click on this and get this is a test here. Okay, perfect. That means that I can come here, and if I want to fill in some fields, I mean, we can just do it. You just do your magic here. Whatever you need to do here, you add your code here. You go, you search for any fields that you need. I just search for the bill country. We could search for anything on the field on the document on the browser. We can do an AJAX call to the back end, get some fields, fill them in. Any logic that you need to do. I mean, there's no problem. It's just code. I mean, just JavaScript. That's it. We're done. I would recommend that we do something like this. My super complicated fill-in logic. Okay, and then we do here function, and we copy this here and do this. Okay, and then you put all your logic in this function. Okay, basically because if in the future coreBOS changes this function here, when you get the conflict, because you have actually modified the base code, it will be easy to merge because you just have one line. Okay, you can add whatever's coming in. You can understand what coreBOS is changing and see how to adapt your code to that logic. If you put all of your code, like maybe 20 lines of code in here, it's the same kind of problem, but it's easier. It's harder to merge because you have to move the 20 lines around, maybe indent them and do some things. And so this way, it's just one line of code that you have to fix, and it's easier anyway. This is the same. Okay. I mean, if you need these parameters, and you just copy them and pass them into your function, and now I have Now I have all of the functionality, all of the fields here. So I could use this product name, for example, and put this here. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so now basically what I have is that my logic is going to say, okay, when you capture the product, I want you to fill in the product name in the bill country. We could try that. Now that we have this working, let's try the description just to know if the text area works the same. Oops, wrong one. I loaded the wrong one here. Inspect. Sources, products. Let's make sure we have our code. Set inventory. Okay, now I have my super created. This one here, perfect. All that looks good. And we capture here protective case, and effectively here in the description I have protective case code. Okay, I mean it's that easy. Okay, there's nothing more to it. Now, what I really would like to do is to add the functionality of the Yui Type 10 field so that the pop-up capture fields would actually work. Okay, so let's have a look at what the coreBOS does. I'm going to cheat a little bit here because I already have the knowledge to understand. Otherwise, you would have to go to the Yui Type 10 field, see how it works, what it's doing, what it's calling, and the like. I know already that VTlib include.js, VTlib.js is the function that we're looking for. And I know that it happens here in the VTlib set value from popup. Okay, this is the function that is called by a Yui Type 10 capture field, standard Yui Type 10 capture field, when you click on it. Okay, and it does all the magic here. If it's on a form, if it's on a quick edit, if it's this, if it's that, whatever, it does everything it needs to do. And then it has a little piece of code here, which says, okay, all that is fine. That's everything I usually do. But if a function exists called the current module set value from capture, then if that function exists, call it. Just call it. Do whatever you have to do. Just call it with the parameters that you have and return. Okay, so this little piece of code here, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code are the ones that actually implement the pop-up capture hook. So if I copy this and I put it here, and I say, okay, that means that the set return now, what's going to happen is that when the product is captured on the product inventory line, it's going to do what it used to do. Okay, the get opener here and the set return inventory, and then it's going to say, oh, is there a function, a set value from capture function here? Then on the window opener, then actually call it with the record ID, the value, and the target field name, and return true. Okay, in this case, we don't need to return true because there's nothing returning in this context. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And now we have a little problem here because we have to see the record ID, the value, and the target field name just to maintain the consistency. Okay, okay, so I understand that the record ID, let's go over to the documentation and make sure. The record ID, the CRM ID of the record that has been selected in the pop-up. Okay, that means that that is the product ID. Product ID is the one, the ID of the user actually selected and clicked on. So now I have that. Okay. The next one is value, the text representation of the record that has been selected in the pop-up. Okay, so I understand that's the product name or something like that. So I have the product name. Fine. And now the target field name, the destination field name in the form in the browser. Okay, that would be the product. Okay, that would be, let's go over here and have a look. That would be this field here, I understand, which is input ID product name 1. Okay, product name 1, it's 1 because it's the first row. If it was the second row, it would be the product name 2 and the like. So I understand the product name here, that the target field name is product name plus current row. Okay, so now actually with this little piece of code, I have made this capture field here VTlib coreBOS standard capture hook supported. That didn't sound too good, but that's the idea. Okay, so let's make sure. Let's actually get rid of this code here because it's not being called anymore. Then we can see if we can. Let's keep this line just in case. Copy that. Okay, so now if I have done this correctly, I'm actually calling the hook. Okay, so now that means that I can come over here to the sales order, and I should be calling this record here. So let's do our magic here, and let's go back to build country so that we can see the difference. And I'm going to fill in this with the value. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now what should be happening is that this selection and the product capture field will actually look for this function here, sales order set value from capture, which is set value set order from capture. And if it's found, which it is, it will call it with this thing, so we can do whatever we need here. Okay, let's go back to the application. Get rid of this screen, come over here, and oops, and here, let's reload this one so that I know that the sales order modules, sales order, where are you? Oops, no sales order. Okay, let's reload this one. Okay, modules, sales order, JS. If we go all the way, we go to the bottom, we see that, okay, we have our window opener. Perfect. That's very good. Now I can click here. And let's make sure this one also doesn't have a problem with the cache. And we go to products.js and we see that we do not have the code. Let's reload this screen here. Now I have my hook code here. And what should happen is that if I click here on new full HD, here in the build country, I should get that filled in by the sales order.js Popup capture hook. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, let's go see what happened. Click here. And let's open this up again. We come over here to sources, product.js. Okay, we lost the cache here. And here it doesn't matter. This one's good. Okay, and let's stop this here. And I click again on this one, and it says, okay, var function this. Let's step that through and see what function has. Function has sales order set value from the. Okay, now we look if that function exists. It does, and so we call this with all of this. Okay, then let's stop this one here, because I guess that what now is going to happen now is that if I click go, okay. Because it's not this one, it's this one. Sources, sales order, this one. Okay. Okay. And let's do that again. Let's open this one up and make sure we have the cache. Where are you? Here and here and here. And we reload this one. Okay. And I click this one and I get a stop on the one below. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I'm stopped here. The first one I did, the first JavaScript I did here was the sales order JS in the pop-up screen. That's not the one that's being executed. It's on Windows Opener, so it's down below. It's this one. Okay, so now effectively it is being executed. Close this one, don't need that one anymore. And let's see why it didn't work. Okay, here, okay, here again, this is my fault, because now it's looking for window opener, document get element by ID when that doesn't exist. Now I'm not in the context of the window of the pop-up screen anymore. I'm actually in the browser, so it has to be document actually. So let's get rid of this, come over here, and effectively it's not window opener. It's document directly, because I'm already in the code. Okay, I'm in the browser on the base receiving module window. Okay, okay, that is correct. And let's go again. Hit this one. We have to verify the cache. Sources, products, and cache. Okay, we reload this one. We open this one again. Oops. Wrong screen. This one. Okay, now if I click here, I get this filled in. Perfect. Okay, so now actually adding these 5 lines of code I have made, I have actually in, made this button here compatible with the pop-up capture hook. Okay, so now it works. Okay, so if I do this one, I should actually, let's see if I can do this one. And this one should work too. Let's make sure we have the cache working correctly. And I click on this one here. And let's select the car sunshade. Yep. Okay, so this one worked also, and I changed that. Okay, so if I want to use services won't work because we haven't added the product. Let's just do that. I copy this code here, and we go to services.js, services.js, and we look for the set return inventory. And this one has a little bit more complex. It's not like the other one, but anyway, it does here some magic, and at the end it just finishes. So here at the end, I say, okay, does the get module function set value from capture work exist? If it does, then you do this with the product name field. Yeah, there it goes. So now services works too. It was really that incredibly easy to give support to the pop-up capture hook to these inventory lines. Let's make this work. Modules, services, services.js. Probably don't have the code here. Okay, correct. Let's reload this. So now I actually am, let's put this over here. Okay, and now I can just select restaurants and get restaurants written here. Okay, that, I mean, it was that easy to add the functionality to the base code. Okay, and I'm going to commit this, and now from now on, for the rest of coreBOS life, this will work on the pop-up capture hook will work. Okay, but as I said before, even if you didn't want to do it like this, which is the correct thing to do, because we have to keep on making coreBOS flexible and adding the base functionality so that anybody can make it work easily. You could have just, I mean, just gone into the function here at the services.js and the other one and put your function here and do what they ever asked you to. I mean, it was really that easy. I hope this helps. Future developers. Thanks for watching.